Welcome back to Morgan's video blog, Morgan's online blog in video format. Today, I'm here to talk to you about gearing up for a virtual Balticon. Memorial Day weekend, I usually hit up Balticon, Maryland's regional sci-fi and fantasy convention, where I proceed to hit about 30 panels in 4 days, meet tons of people, and forget what sleep looks like. This year is different. In-person gatherings are banned. And this time, I'm involved. Lots more involved. I felt a little self-serving when I decided on the topic for today's blog post, but then I looked back and saw that I pretty much always blog about what con I'm about to head to and all the prep I did for it, so that part isn't out of the usual. What is different is that I'm going to be a panelist at Balticon and I'm working staff. So, in case you've been curious about what Morgan's been up to for the last month and a half, well, before I make this entire post about me, I should probably explain what virtual Balticon is. Well, as I've told others, Balticon is the Maryland Regional Science Fiction and Fantasy Convention sponsored by the Baltimore Science Fiction Society, known as BSFS. I didn't come up with the pronunciation, don't look at me like that. Scheduled this year for Memorial Day weekend, it began back in 1966 and has been held annually. Due to the pandemic, Balticon could not meet in person this year, but the good news, they realized Balticon could go virtual. Balticon features discussions and presentations among authors and editors and publishers and artists and filmmakers and scientists and gamers and, most importantly, fans. It's a fan-run convention, not a media-sponsored one. They don't have big bucks. It's all done by volunteers. Virtual Balticon will have author readings, panels, and presentations, science programming, a film festival, watch parties, artists and dealers, a masquerade, costume contest, plus a variety of role-playing games, video games, board gaming, and more. You can find Virtual Balticon on Zoom, Discord, Twitch, YouTube, and even Second Life. So, I'm going to talk about me now. What have I been up to for Virtual Balticon? Well, I'd already applied to be a panelist at Balticon when programming contacted me asking for input. Apparently, attending about 30 panels a year and then blogging about them makes programming think you might have some ideas about what panel concepts work, which ones don't, and which panelists people might line up to see. So I attended several working meetings for this, and I ended up tasked with some data processing and helped contribute to the wording of some panel descriptions, trying to make sure that they were discussions, not agreements. Like, yes, we all agree this topic is right. Or on the other hand, we also don't want to start wars between people. Separately, my application had been approved to become a panelist. Then, dun dun dun, COVID-19 hit. And about 2 weeks later, on April Fool's Day, Balticon reached out to me and asked me to run their social media. So I guess they thought I was doing a decent job or would work for the cheap price of free. They still have Matt, their social media director, who works for their parent organization, BSFS, but the burden to go virtual was more than one man could handle. So, running social media, what does this even mean? For me, I'm mostly creating images and composing posts for all of our social media accounts. I'm working on 100% consistent branding, but we're not quite there yet. Sorry, Twitch. Other departments will let me know when an announcement needs to go out. Either they finalize something or a deadline's coming, and if people contact Balticon for details, I helped draft the wording. I've already started scheduling hourly posts to help people find the panels coming up next, presentations and events, whatever happening. so that I don't have to do those updates while the convention is in full swing. I've recorded a how-to video for each of the online applications, although I think only the Discord one is up and it's a little quiet. Sorry about that. We have a new version coming, but it's waiting on Matt, who is doing a few other things right now. And I am scheduled to address the technology basics for in our opening ceremonies. I am also tech support and admin for our Discord server. So let's talk about that technology. There was no technological solution that was right for everything we wanted to do for a con. So we had to pick and choose. For our panels, presentations, and many of our events, Sjogren Productions donated use of a business level Zoom account. Because Virtual Balticon went free, most of our donations are just going to go help pay for closed captioning. So far, we can only afford to closed caption 1 panel per hour, but hey, if you got $2,000 in your pocket, we could up that to 2 panels per hour closed captioned. Or $200 so we can hire a stenographer for 1 panel. It gets pricey, but we do want to make our con accessible. We currently will only have 5 webinars running at a time. So the typical Balticon schedule in 20 different rooms had to be drastically condensed. Attendees will have to register on the schedule page. There are links next to each event. And you have to register for each event separately, but by using Zoom webinars, we can keep out the trolls and the bad actors and prevent Zoom bombing and add security to the panel so that jerks don't mess it up for the rest of us. This does mean that all the people watching will only be able to ask questions via the Q&A window, but all the side comments people love to make and book suggestions and things can go straight in the chat where you can share them with all the other attendees. We are using Discord for most of the convention hall space. The dealer's room, the artist alley, the fan tables will be there, plus the con suite. We even created an after panel breakout room. So you know how when you leave a panel room and you're still talking with the panelists, you can go to the Discord chat and do that even after the meeting has ended. Plus, there's tons of gaming rooms. This is Discord after all. You can sign up for gaming on the Balticon.org website. 2 of the 5 panels per hour will be live streamed to either our YouTube account at Baltimore Sci-Fi or our Twitch account at BSFS Balticon, BSFS Balticon, with the rest of our recorded panels to come once we get them closed captioned. Right now they're going to have to rely on automated and volunteers checking them after the fact. So it could take a little longer than the paid stuff. Sunday and Monday, you'll find our film festival on Twitch and maybe YouTube as well, streaming. But they will only be played twice through. And for those on Second Life or who would like to try it out, you can join our Balticon 54 group or hang out at Balticon Station. Many of the vendors will also be found there. So that is a lot of technologies and we're in a lot of places. So they're all well and good, but before we can run stuff with them, we need to make sure we have staff trained. We need to make sure we have panelists that can attend. So the transition from physical con to virtual con, we had all of our panelists do a test Zoom session just to make sure that they had the audio, the video, and the internet capabilities to even make this possible. Matt, bless his heart, BSFS's social media director, stepped up to become our virtual con platform admin/expert, helping shepherd us through the process. We've been running, with his help, 3 practice sessions every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for nearly a month to give both our technicians and our panelists opportunities to practice. I think the first 2 weeks were the Zoom test sessions and some training, and the last 2 weeks have been practice alone. One of our Artist Alley members, Bluestone Archer, joined the Discord server early and offered to help make a couple promo pictures for social media. And then 2 days later, his teaching background had him volunteering to help run our Zoom training and lighten the load on our virtual con admin, taking over those 9 sessions a week. For our Discord server, I've run 4 of the mini training sessions for our moderators and admins, and I've helped draft how-to guides for attendees, for vendors, for fan tables, for admin, at all levels. Not to mention, of course, all the troubleshooting I've done. If anyone needs help, they can reach out to me one-on-one, including my dad. I've had 3 1 a.m. sessions with my dad trying to get his, he got, a friend of his donated an old webcam they had laying around because you can't get webcams right now. And he's trying to get it working on his Linux system. The first session was me reminding him to install the driver. The second session was us realizing that the bad driver was trying to override the good driver, and we finally got that working. And the third Zoom test session was us getting the camera enabled in Zoom and hitting go and getting a black screen. So if anybody has any suggestions other than turn it on and back off again, and the camera works, it's just not showing up in Zoom. So no clue on that. Oh, maybe he needs to update his Zoom. We'll look into that. So other than tech support, let's talk about what Morgan will be doing this weekend. We've talked about what I've been doing. Now let's look ahead. I will be working. I will be working on Discord all weekend as an admin, as tech support, and because I'm a chatty sort of person, and when you can't mute any channel because somebody might need help, you might find yourself, if you're me, drawn into a lot of conversations or sticking my nose into other people's conversations. I will try to minimize that. Secondly, you will find me attending panels. Shock. If you've followed me for any amount of time, you've probably noticed that I have no sense of my limits. And yeah, especially when it comes to attending panels. I've signed up just like a regular attendee to see 28 panels in 4 days. I thought it was 22, but I'd miscounted. I checked my inbox and I moved all those Zoom invites into a single folder so I can find them when the time comes, and they're sitting there waiting for me. Since I often take copious notes at writing panels, you may have noticed I didn't want to run tech while watching those panels. However, I did review my schedule, and for the ones I'm watching just for fun, that might not be as informative, I did let tech know that I could be a backup technician because we are very short on people who can run the Zoom webinars. I've dubbed them Zoominars. Sorry, it's a thing. I did take the training. I went through 3 practice sessions. Maybe put it to use. We'll see. And the third thing I'm doing, because that wasn't enough, is I am going to be on panels. Wait. Does that mean that I'm signed up for 31 panels? Because I don't think that's in my count of 28. So I'm going to be busy this weekend. Lastly, but certainly not leastly, I'm going to be on 3 panels this weekend, even moderating one of them. My first time ever moderating a panel, and outside of a couple practice sessions this week, and my second time ever being a panelist at a convention. I will be on Saturday at 5 p.m. on dealing with literary rejection, something I am all too familiar with. On Sunday at 10 a.m., I will be on beta reading propositions. What are you in for? Because I've done a fair amount of beta reading at this point, and I've had several beta readers. I know what I like and what I don't like, and I know the many different styles, and hopefully I can talk pretty well to this one. And finally, at noon, I will be moderating for What's This About Establishing a Social Media Presence? I think I was on here as moderator before they recruited me. So ironic, maybe just a little. You can check out the schedule at balticon.org/WP54/programming/programming-schedule. Well, I'll put the link below. So come see me live and see if I do as well unscripted as I do scripted. I hope all of you are planning to have a safe but fun and hopefully more relaxing than mine weekend. And please feel free to check out Balticon.org and find out all the fun stuff we have planned and scheduled. It is free, it is online. Your plans probably don't exist. Why not? Let me know if you have any questions. It's literally my unpaid job right now, at least until Monday. I will be back again next week with more writing tips and writerly musings. Most likely the Balticon post-con mortem. So see you then. Bye-bye.